What's the distinguishing characteristic of 1966 Topps baseball cards? Is it their gaudy borders or big-name rookie cards or waving team banners or nothing but photo beauty? Nah, all those attributes belong to other cards of the 1960s, though the 66s did a pretty darn good job in the clear blue sky image department. All in all, the defining characteristic of 1966 Topps may just be that it doesn't have one. It's just a solid, understated, and in its simplicity, classic set that sometimes gets lost in the hullabaloo of its neighbors. But 1966 has plenty to offer in its own right, including these 10 most valuable cards from the set, as determined by PSA 7 listings, culled from the PSA Sports Market Report price guide. Let's dig in. 1966 Topps Mickey Mantle, number 50. What happens when a mid-1960s baseball card set shows up without many or any big-name rookies? I mean value-wise. Well, it opens the door for Mickey Mantle to nab the top spot on lists like this one. Of course, the Mick is liable to do that even when the set in question is loaded with big rookie cards. So don't let Mantle's lofty position here cloud your opinion of 1966 set. Just enjoy the colorful classic card of a slugger in its own merits. And if you want to do that from the friendly confines of your own collection, expect to pay about $450 for a PSA 7 copy. 1966 Topps Willie Mays, number 1. In 1965, Willie Mays set a career high with 52 home runs, and he won his second National League MVP award. The other came with the New York Giants in 1954. Mays' heroics weren't enough to get San Francisco back into the playoffs in 1965, but he still looks plenty happy tossing a baseball from one hand to the other on this crystal clear 1966 Topps card. It's a dandy that sells for close to $300 in graded near mint condition. 1966 Topps Hank Aaron, number 500. Aaron was never flashy like Mays and Mantle at their peaks, but Hammer's best years would have been jagged mountaintops for mere mortals, and he maintained that level for the better part of 2 decades. No wonder then that Aaron eventually broke Babe Ruth's all-time home run record in 1974 and retired as one of the greatest to ever play the game. Also, no wonder that this mid-career card, boring as it may be, checks in at around $160 in PSA 7. 1966 Topps Gaylord Perry, number 598. Okay, so this card makes it to the list largely on the strength of relative scarcity that comes with being on a short print. Normally I'd skip over flukish type cards for a piece like this, but Perry also happens to be a Hall of Famer, and he looks sort of young here. How often do you see that? Put it all together and you have yourself a $125 plus card in PSA 7. 1966 Topps Roberto Clemente, number 300. Clemente legend seems to grow stronger every year, and so does the love for this Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Famer. This card, issued during his lone National League MVP campaign in 1966, features a wistful-looking Clemente against a clear blue sky. In all, this Bob greatness can generally be yours for about $125 in slabbed PSA 7 condition. 1966 Topps Sandy Koufax, number 100. Sandy Koufax turned in one of the greatest pitching performances of all time in 1966, posting a 27-9 record with a 1.73 ERA and 317 strikeouts for the World Series-bound Los Angeles Dodgers. It also happened to be Sandy's last season in the majors, as elbow problems forced his early retirement that October. Since Topps wasn't much on career capper cards back then, this 1966 beauty was Koufax's last mainstream issue, and it's a $125 item in PSA 7 today. 1966 Topps Jim Palmer, number 126. Okay, so there's at least one great rookie card in the 1966 Topps set, and it belongs to Baltimore Orioles mound legend Jim Palmer. Here we see a young Cakes looking pretty much like a movie star he seemed destined to become later on in his career. The only thing missing is a view of his perfect coif and of his BVDs, or jockeys. Still, the first card of a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest pitchers of the 1970s, $95 almost seems like a steal in PSA 7. 1966 Topps Pete Rose, number 30. Rose is one of those guys who appears on just about every one of these lists where he has a card. See, the guy may have been a louse and a criminal off the field, but he is a bona fide legend in the grass, down the baseline, and especially at the plate. This fourth-year card, featuring lots of blue to go with that nifty Cincinnati Reds uniform, sells for around $90 in PSA 7 these days. 1966 Topps Willie McCovey, number 550. Here we have another Hall of Famer who probably wouldn't be on this list were his 1966 card not short printed. But it was, and Stretch was magnificent for most of a couple of decades anyway. So here we are. And who wouldn't want that big smile and bright sunny sky to cheer you up on a dark winter's day, or even in the middle of summer? McCovey's mirth will set you back about $90 for a copy in PSA 7 condition. 1966 Topps National League batting leaders, Clemente, Aaron, Mays, number 215. League leaders cards won't often make the cut for most valuable cards in a set, but things are a little different when the worst player among the leading trio ends his career with exactly 3,000 hits. In 1965, the National League was blessed with the top three in the race for the batting crown that shook out like this: Roberto Clemente, 329, Hank Aaron, 318, Willie Mays, 317. For what it's worth, next in line were fellow Cooperstown Dennison, Billy Williams at 315, and Rose at 312. Topps capitalized on this mass of talent with their National League batting leaders card, a $75 item in slab near mint condition these days. Like our video? Then like our videos and subscribe to our channel. WaxPackGods.com